Hello, people. Hello, mathematicians. So today we are doing solve two-step linear equations. So these are basically the one-step linear equations. I really suggest you to look at that video because that is a very important video to understand this video. In this video, I will explain some concepts better though. So if you don't know some concepts from the first video, I might explain it in this video a little better, so let's get started. Alright, so the difference between one-step and linear equations and two-step linear equations is that the one-step is self-explanatory. It has one step, and this one has two steps. So since this one has two steps, it takes a little bit longer and maybe it's a little harder, but it's not that hard once you get used to it. Now we have this first problem here where we have this integer, we have a fraction, which is division, and we have this number on the other side. So what I like to do is write it out first. Always write it out. When you're learning something, write it out first. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to move that -1 and I'm going to move it to the other side, but I'm just going to eliminate it by doing +1, by adding 1 to each side. You have to do it to each side because you want it to be equal on each side. So then this would be n/4 is equal to 2 plus 1. Alright? So now, what I like to do next is I like to simplify this. So let's simplify, shall we? This would be n/4 is equal to 3. Now we have this division line here, and we know that the opposite of division is multiplication. So let's multiply by 4. We have to multiply by the denominator, and we have to do it in both sides. We have to do it both sides. So this would be n is equal to 3 times 4. Now simplify 3 times 4. This will give us n is equal to 12. So that is how you solve one two-step linear equation. It's a lot more steps, but if you take it step by step, you'll get it. Don't skip steps, because when you skip steps, sometimes you will miss a calculation or something and you'll get the question wrong. So don't skip steps. Alright, so let's put 12. Terrific, we got 12. So now we have this equation. So let's see, 3f plus 5 is equal to 7. Now, like what we did last time, we moved the integer first, the number first to the other side. The opposite of this positive is negative, so then we subtract 5. We also do it to the other side because you need it to be equal. This will then give you 3f is equal to 7 minus 5. Alright, now let's simplify these two. So if we simplify these two, this would be 3f is equal to 7 minus 5, which is 2. Hold on. This is why you write out the question first. You can make mistakes by writing out the question. I put a positive instead of a negative over here. So let's solve this again. 3f minus 5 is equal to 7. The opposite of this minus is positive. So plus 5, we add 5 to each side. This will give us 3f is equal to 7 plus 5. Alright, now let's simplify these two here, this will give us 3f is equal to 7 plus 5, which is 12. Alright? And then what we do is, since essentially 3f is 3 times f, the opposite of multiplication here, this dot here, is division. So then we divide, and since we want to take out the 3, we divide by the 3 to take out the 3. That will eliminate that 3 from there, but we also have to do it to the other side as well. We have to divide the other side by 3, and this will give us f is equal to 4. Alright, that's another linear, two-step linear equation solved. So let's put 4 in there. Well done. Okay, so now we have this one. Let's see. First, write it out. Plus 1 is equal to 9. Okay. First, we have to move this. Oh, that highlighter isn't really good. We have to move this. Alright. So we have to move it to the other side. So what we do is subtract 1 and subtract 1 because you want it to be equal on both sides. So you subtract 1 on each side. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. So now this would be 2d is equal to 9 minus 1. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to simplify. Before we do anything, we simplify. Okay, so we do 2d is equal to 9 minus 1, which is 8. Alright, then we divide by 2, like last time. Because since this is multiplication, the opposite of multiplication is division. So we divide by 2, and we divide by 2 on the other side because of equality. And then you do, and this will give you d is equal to 4. So 4 is our answer. Let's put 4 in there. Let's see if we have audio. Yes, we do have audio. Okay. Now we have another one of these. Solve for q. Alright, so first write out the equation. Okay, now we have to move this to the other side, right? The opposite of minus is addition. So let's add 1 to each side. This will give you q over here. Q over 4 is equal to 2 plus 1. Okay, then we simplify. So then this will give us q over 4 is equal to 3. And since there is this division line, this fraction, the opposite of division is multiplication. So we multiply by 4. We multiply by 4 on each side because of equality. This will then give us, let's put a division line here. This will then give us q is equal to 3 times 4, which is 12. So 12 is our answer. Alright, now we have this other thing here. Let's first, oh, now I notice we have the v on the other side here. So what we should do is we should first write it out. V over 4 minus 2. Alright, This is essentially the same thing as last time. It's just flipped. The v is on the other side. Solve the exact same way. So, if we look here, we need to take this -2 here and put it to the other side here. So, the way that we can do that is add 2, because this will give you a 0, which will then eliminate it from one side, but you have to make it equal, so you have to add 2 to the other side as well. This will give you 2 plus 1 is equal to v over 4. Or better yet, so that you can understand it better, 1 plus 2 is equal to v over 4. Okay? Now we have this division line here. Well, the opposite of division is multiplication. So you multiply by 4 to get rid of that 4 there. You also, I forgot this step, so you also simplify here. So, ignore this step, v over 4. This will give you 3 is equal to v over 4, right? Now let's do the step where we multiply by 4. We multiply by 4 on each side. This will give you 12 is equal to v. Cool? In the comments, please tell me if you're getting this, or if you need me to explain it in a different way. I can answer your questions down there, so just please tell me if you have any questions or something like that. Alright, now we have this equation. So, let's first write it out. This is m over 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Okay? So, first we have to take this integer or number to the other side. Alright? So, if we add 3, because this is the opposite of minus, opposite of minus is addition. So if we add 3, and we also have to add it to the other side, don't forget that, this will be m over 4 is equal to 1 plus 3. Okay, so then we simplify. So if we simplify, this would be m over 4 is equal to 4, and then we multiply by 4 on each side to get rid of that division line there, to get that 4 away from that m. We want the m isolated. That's the point of solving these linear equations. You want the variable isolated so that you can find the true value of that variable. So then this will give you m is equal to 4 times 4, which is 16. Notice how this is the steps. First, we add or subtract to the other side. Then, after that, we simplify. And then after that, we do our multiplication and division. That is the steps that I take. It's easier that way, and you make less mistakes that way. So let's put 16 in there. Fantastic. So, now we have this one. First, write it out. Z, hold on, let me get our pen. Z over 2 minus 2 is equal to 1. Alright, so now we have to take this -2 and we have to put it to the other side. Well, let's add 2 to each side so that it eliminates on one side, and on the other side we just add it so that it's equal. So then this would be Z over 2 is equal to 1 plus 2. Okay, so 1 plus 2 is 3. So then 3z over 2, we simplify, and then we write it out again. Then, since there's this division sign here, we multiply by 2. We multiply by 2. And then we get z is equal to 3 times 2, which is 6. And please pause the video if you want to do these on your own, and then I can explain it to you. That way that you can better grasp the concept. Alright, so we have another one of these, except there's no division line. But first, let's write it out. 2h plus 3 is equal to 9. Okay? So, when we do this, we have to take this 3 to the other side. So let's subtract 3 because it's a positive 3. And we subtract 3 to the other side as well. This will leave us with 2h is equal to 9 minus 3. 9 minus 3 is, this is 6. So then this would be 2h is equal to 6. We divide by 2. We divide by 2. This will then give us h is equal to 6 divided by 2, or 3. This is 3, basically. Alright? So let's put 3 as our answer. Terrific. Okay, so you might have noticed that there was a little bit of a cut. That's because I lost some of the footage. So yeah, that sucked. Sometimes iPad just doesn't record the footage and it just blacks out. So yeah, but we'll continue. You didn't miss much. If you did miss something, I'll probably explain it again. So first, let's rewrite the problem. So negative 10u plus minus 22 is equal to 38. Now notice how I emphasize that plus and that minus. That's because this plus and minus essentially are multiplying each other like that. And if you looked at our last video about solving one-step equations, we talked about how when a subtraction and addition multiply each other, something happens. So let's review it again. So from this rule, when a minus and a minus multiplies or divides by each other, it will become a positive. When a positive and a positive multiply or divide each other, it's a positive. When a negative and a positive multiply or divide each other, it's a negative. When a positive and a negative multiply each other, it's a negative. Okay? So, in this case, what is here right now is the positive and negative. So, it would be this one, right here. So let's simplify that symbol, because always simplify first. So when we simplify those symbols, we will get negative 10u minus 22 is equal to 38. Okay. So, yeah. Next, we're going to take out this integer here and put it to the other side. So, we put it to the other side here. We can't just do that, can we? We have to add 22 to each side to make it even and to eliminate that negative 22 from the left side. So then what you get is negative 10u is equal to 38 plus 22. Alright? So then we simplify this. that will simplify to 40, 60. Alright, so negative 10u is equal to 60. Alright, so then now we have another problem here. We have a problem where we have that negative 10u and we have that positive 60. Negative 10u is essentially negative 10 times u. So if we look at like that way, then what we will have, well, the opposite of multiplication is division. So we will divide by negative 10. We will divide by negative 10. And this will give us u is equal to, remember the rule, this rule right here, when they multiply or divide each other, these are the symbols. Well, there is a positive in front of that 60. So there's a negative and a positive, and the resulting symbol would become a negative. So then it would be negative 60 over 10, or 6. Right? So then our answer is negative 6. Great. So we have the next one here. This one's pretty easy, I guess. So let's first write it out. Negative m plus 7 is equal to negative 7. Alright, so right here we have to move this 7 to the other side. The opposite of the positive sign is a negative, so we subtract 7. We subtract 7 from the other side as well to make negative m equal to minus 7 minus 7. Alright, now we simplify these, so then we would get negative m is equal to negative 14. Then we have what we had last time, where negative and negative is positive, positive and positive is positive, negative and positive is negative, and positive and negative is negative. That rule applies when multiplying or dividing those symbols. So, since we're dividing the symbols here, we eliminated that minus there. We're going to divide that symbol over here as well. We got a negative right here. Let's change the color. A negative right here and a negative right here. Now if we look at our chart, that is this. That will result into a positive. So m will equal to positive 14, or just 14. See? I hope these are getting easier. Please tell me in the comments if I need to explain anything, or please tell me if ways that I could teach this better, so that I can do future videos a lot better, so I could teach you guys better. So yeah, I hope that these are getting better, and well, now we have this problem here. We have 6 equals to p over 3 plus 4. Now we have this. Don't worry about that. That is division. We wait until the end for that. Alright? We'll do the integer first. Alright? So we will subtract 4, because that's the opposite sign, right? We will subtract 4, and we will subtract 4 from the other side. This will then be 6 minus 4 is equal to p over 3. We will then simplify here. 2, that will simplify to 2 is equal to p over 3. Then we will multiply by 3. We will then multiply by 3 each side, remember each side. And this will give us 6 is equal to p. Because the reason why we multiply is this division sign right here. Multiplication is the opposite of division. So 6 is our answers. Amazing. Cool. Alright. Alright. So, we have this problem now. Let's first write it out. So, negative 7 plus 4c is equal to negative 11. Alright. So now let's take this one and pull it all the way to the other side. We will add 7. We will add 7 because this is opposites, right? This negative 7 plus 7 will equal to 0. So we basically eliminated it from one side. But when we do something to one side, we also have to do it to the other side. Alright? So, this will result, let's first erase this. This will result to 4c is equal to negative 11 plus 7. Alright? Now, negative 11 plus 7 is negative 4. Let's simplify this. Alright, so 4c is equal to negative 4. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to divide. We're going to divide by 4 on each side. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. And this will give us c is equal to negative 1. This is our answer. If you guys are like pausing the video, following along, great. You can solve these problems with me. Pause the video when you want to. When you don't understand it, rewind the video, or just go to the comment section and ask the question. Put a timestamp, and I'll probably clear that up. So, amazing, great. All right, now we've come to the decimals. Don't worry about the decimals. The decimals are basically the same. It's basically the same idea. Minus n. Remember that we have to simplify these first. What did we say about two minuses subtracting each other? Two subtraction signs multiplying each other. Yes, we did say that when they multiply each other, they will become a positive sign. And this is what it's going to be like. Alright? We basically simplified the sign. That's it. Now, we have to move this all the way to the other side. That's a positive 1.8. So we subtract 1.8. We subtract 1.8. Alright? Since these have two positives here, it'll basically stack up. It'll be like negative 2 is equal to n. That is our answer. Because negative 0.2, think about it this way. If they're both positives, 0.2 plus 1.8 is 2. It's basically that, except with the minus sign in front of it. So let's put negative 2 into this answer. Amazing, great. Alright. So, now we have this one. Let's write it out first. Alright. First, we have to take this and put it to the other side. So we subtract 2, because it's the opposite of this positive sign here. We subtract 2. And this will give us 2z is equal to 8.4 minus 2, which is 6.4. There we go. Right? Now we're going to divide by 2 because 2z is essentially 2 times z, right? The opposite of multiplication is division. And we have to do what we do on one side to the other side. So we will do that to the other side. And this will give us z is equal to 3.2. Right? This is our answer. Z is equal to 3.2. Let's put 3.2 into there. Right? Let's see if I have audio. Yep, I have audio. That's good. 3.2. Wonderful. Great. Alright. Let's do this one. First, write it out. If you want to solve this on your own, please solve it. Please pause the video and solve it. 7 is equal to 3u plus 4. Alright, what we have to do first is move this to the other side, right? So we will subtract 4, and we will subtract 4 from each side. We will then get 3 is equal to 3u. That's it. Now we have to divide by 3 since 3u is essentially 3 times u, and the opposite of division or multiplication is division. So we will divide by 3, we will divide by 3, and that will give us the answer of 1 equals u. So let's put 1 as our answer. Great. So now we have this one. Ooh, this one looks complicated. So first, write it out. V over 2 minus 1.21 is equal to 1.09, right? Okay. We are going to move this all the way to the other side. Don't worry about this division yet. Worry about the integers first. So we will add, since this is a subtraction side, we will add 1.21 to each side. And we will get v over 2 is equal to 1.09 plus, oh, I forgot the point there, 1.21. Alright? So then now when we simplify these two, we will get v over 2 is equal to 2.3. There we go. And then, since this is division here, this fraction sign is division, the opposite of division is multiplication. So you multiply by the denominator by 2, and you multiply the other side by 2, alright? And you will get v is equal to 6. Wow, my brain is messed up. 4.6. There we go. That's the answer. 4.6. Boom. We're almost to the challenge zone. So, be ready for there. Let's write it out. Minus 4 is equal to 6. Alright, notice how we have two minuses now. Remember the rule about minus, plus, minus, plus, and minus when they multiply each other and divide each other? Well, what would these two minuses when they multiply each other become? What sign? Yes, they will become a positive. So, if we put positive there, this will then become q over 2 plus 2 is equal to is equal to 6. If I put a 2 there, it's 4. There we go. Now, to take this all the way to the other side, we have to subtract 4 from each side. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. This will then give you Q over 2 is equal to 6 minus 4. What is 6 minus 4? Yes, it's 2. Now, since we have this division sign here, what we have to do is multiply by 2. We have to multiply by 2, and this will give us Q is equal to 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So, our answer is 4. Amazing. Challenge zone. Alright, solve for W. Pause the video and please try to solve this one on your own. Okay, you're back. So, let's first write it out. Alright. Cool. And then we now see right here that this needs to be moved to the other side. So we have to add, or no, do not add, we have to subtract 10 from each side, since that's a positive 10. So we have to subtract 10 from each side, and we will get 7.86 minus 10 is equal to negative 2W. Now, we have this over here, right? I don't know how to take this over here and simplify it, right? Because it's negative. So what I'm going to do is find the difference between the numbers. So I'm going to do 10 minus 7.86. And 10 minus 7.86 is 2.14 is equal to 2W. But that's not entirely right, because if we do 7.86 and we subtract 10, that should take us to the negatives. So then we will put a negative sign in front of the 2.14. Alright, so now we have a negative over here and a negative over here. We're going to divide by negative 2 over here. That will cancel out. And we're going to divide by negative 2 over here. Now we have a negative and negative. Remember what happens when you divide negative and negatives? Yes, they will become a positive sign. So then we will get 1.07 as our answer. That will be our answer, 1.07. Because these two signs here will become a positive, and 2.14 divided by 2 is 1.07. So, let's put 1.07. Amazing. Cool. Okay, please pause the video and try to solve it, and I'll try to explain it to you in depth. Alright, you're back. So, sorry about the drink of water, I was thirsty. So 2p plus 4.1 is equal to 12.1. Now what we do first is we have to take this and put it to the other side, right? So we have to subtract 4.1, subtract 4.1. We will then get 2p is equal to 12.1 minus 4.1, which is 8. Alright? If we did that right. Then we have to divide by 2 over here. Because there's a 2 there, essentially 2p. 2p is 2 times p. Alright? divide by 2 over here as well. This will then give us P is equal to 8 divided by 2, or 4. So P is 4. Well done. Hope that you guys got that right. Okay, so now we have this one. So let's solve for k. Alright, so let's first write it up. 1.15 is equal to 18.95 minus 2k. Alright, so first what we have to do is take this integer right here and put it to the other side. But how do we do that? Alright, since this has a positive in front of it, we will subtract it from one side and we will subtract it from the other side. Alright, so then this would then be 1.15 minus 18.5 is equal to negative 2k. Alright. Oh wait, a mistake there. 0.95. Alright, so if we did that math, if we did 1.15 minus 18.95, we will get negative 17.8. I'm using a calculator because this would take way too long if I didn't, but I would really recommend for you to really not use a calculator, to do it in your head. It will help you in the future, but right now I am on a time constraint, so yeah. So what we have to do now is we also have to divide, right? We have to divide by negative 2 over here, but we also have to divide by negative 2 over here. Now we have the sign thing again, where we have to change the sign basically, because they are two signs dividing each other. When two negative signs divide each other, what does that become? Yes, a positive. So we will have a positive 17.8. So 17.8 is around 8.9, right? Yeah, 8.9. So it'd be a positive 8.9 is equal to k. Alright, so we have 8.9. Hope this is right. Great. Amazing. Alright, so now we have this. We have... Oh wait, I'll let you solve it. Please pause the video and solve it. Okay, you solved it. So this is 0.9 minus n is equal to negative 2.3. Okay, first we have to simplify these two signs because they're multiplying each other. So this is 0.9 minus times minus is what? Yes, it's a positive. So positive plus, let's change the color, plus n is equal to negative 2.3. Alright? Cool, right? Alright, now we have to take this number and put it to the other side. Okay? So we will subtract 0.9. Since this is a positive 0.9, we will subtract 0.9 and we will subtract 0.9 on the other side as well to make it equal. So then what we're left with is m is equal to negative 2.3 minus 0.9. Right? There we go. Cool. Alright. Now when we do the math there, this should give us m is equal to negative 3.7. Negative 3.2. Negative 3.2. Right? Yeah, negative 3.2. Alright, so this would become our answer here. Alright, great. So, now we have to solve for z. Please pause the video and solve it. Alright, you're back. So, first I'm going to write it out. 10.5 minus 2z is equal to 17.58. Alright, first we have to take this integer and put it to the other side. So we will subtract 10.5. We will subtract 10.5. What we're left with is negative 2z is equal to 17.58 minus 10.5. Okay? So we have negative 2. Alright? So now we have to simplify these two numbers. And what that will give us is negative 2z is equal to 7.08. Right? Yep. Now we have to divide each side by negative 2. And when we do that, we have a negative and we have a positive right here. What is a negative and positive when they divide each other? Right, that is a negative. So then we have z is equal to 3.54. Negative 3.54, I think. This one might be wrong. 7.08 divided by 2, 3.54, 17.58 minus 10, 10.5, 7.08. Yeah, so that should be the answer. Negative 3.54. I hope that you guys got that. Negative 3.54. Great. Cool. Now we have this. Please pause the video and solve it. Alright. I'm guessing that you solved it. So first I'm going to write it out. 2z plus 2.88 is equal to 6.88. Alright. So first we have to take this number and put it to the other side. So we will subtract 2.88 from each side. 2.88. We are left with 2z is equal to 6.88 minus 2.88. And then if we simplify these two, we will get 2z is equal to 4. Now we will divide, since 2z is essentially 2 times z. So we will divide by 2 to get rid of that 2. We will divide the other side by 2, since what you do on one side, you have to do to the other side. This will be left with z is equal to 2. Great. That's our answer, 2. Amazing. Alright. Now we have this. Please pause the video and try to solve it. Alright. I'm guessing that you solved it. So we have 4.66 minus 2z is equal to 2.66. Now we have this right here, and we're going to try to put it to the other side. So we will subtract 4.66 from each side, right? Since this is a positive number right here, right? So then this will become minus 2z is equal to 2.66 minus 4.66, right? When we simplify these two numbers, we will get negative 2z is equal to negative 2, right? And we will divide each side by negative 2. So we will divide here by negative 2, and we will divide here by negative 2 as well. Alright, so then what we're left with is z is equal to, remember the rule about the negatives and negatives? Well, that applies here. When a negative and negative divide each other, what does it make? Yes, a positive. So it's positive 1. So let's put 1 as our answer. Boom. Great. Okay, so we have the next thing here. Please pause the video and try to solve it. Alright, so I'm guessing that you solved it. So let's write it out first. Minus 0.84 is equal to 1 plus 2g. First, I'm going to take this and put it to the other side. So let's subtract 1. We will get negative 0.84 minus 1 is equal to 2g. Now let's simplify these. Now, I'm doing these step by step so that you can understand them better, but over time you will get a lot faster at these and just start skipping steps. But I wouldn't recommend skipping steps at the beginning because you can miss a lot and get the questions wrong. So then this would simplify to negative 1.84 is equal to 2g. Now we will divide by 2 since there's the 2 right here, and we will divide the other side by 2 as well, and this will be negative. Since this is a positive and then a negative always wins. Alright, so this will become negative 92.92. Yeah, negative 0.92 is equal to g. So I hope that you guys got the answer. Negative 0.92. Yeah, one more question, guys. So now we have a challenge question here. So pause the video, please try to solve it, and then I'll do it step by step. Alright, so I'm guessing that you solved it. So first write it out. J over 4 plus 10.77 is equal to 12.17. First, I'm going to take this and I'm going to try to put it to the other side. So let's subtract 10.77 and subtract 10.77, and this will give us J is equal to over 4 is equal to 12.17 minus 10.77. Alright, so 12.17 minus 10.77 is 1.4. So then we do J over 4 is equal to 1.4. Alright, so then here, since it's dividing, we multiply each side by 4. And we multiply each side by 4 right here. So then what that would result to is j is equal to 1.4 times 4. And 1.4 times 4 is 5.6. So 5.6 is our answer. I hope that you guys got 5.6. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. If you didn't, just review the video. Great. So, yeah, congratulations, you have mastered it. So, thanks for watching the video. I hope this was in-depth enough that you could understand it. Please ask questions in the comments. I am probably there, and I will probably answer them as fast as possible. I might not be there during, sometimes I might not answer them because I have school as well. I'm a 7th grader, so yeah, and so yeah, I hope that this was in depth and you liked it. So I guess like it if you like it, if dislike it if you didn't, share it with your friends. Share it with your friends if you thought it was in-depth and that they needed help with this subject as well. So yeah, bye.